Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and as the title of this video suggests, today I'm doing a prize win unboxing as part of a contest held by the figure reviewer JC. If you're not familiar with him, I suggest you check in the description below for his channel information. You go over, you give him a subscription. Because he reviews all kinds of awesome stuff from, Star Wars Black Series figures to Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse, wrestling figures, all kinds of stuff. And he's been really generously holding several contests in the past, like month and a half, both over on his YouTube channel, but also his websites, marvelousnews.com, JediInsider.com, Toy News International, and such like that. And I just happened to win the one from the Jedi Insider site, which I was ecstatic about. It was a prize of 4 Black Series figures, and the box was literally sitting outside my apartment, when I got up today. So we are going to unbox this sucker and see what it beholds within it. I've got trusty old Le Cesar, and here we go. Now this was all kinds of dope though. The figures in question from the Black Series are all relatively new, and all of them are ones I could pretty much bank on the fact that I would never find in my local area. I've had so much trouble finding any Black Series figures to begin with, let alone any of the newer ones and ones that would be like the 4 that were part of this prize pack, that were highly sought after, And I think out of the 4 of these, one of them is a holdover from a wave that was released, Grand Moff Tarkin, and but even him I didn't find anywhere locally. So between not having a whole hell of a lot of funds every month to get figures, and then not having anywhere locally that I could find them, if even if I could afford them, winning a prize pack like this was stellar. So I am so stoked seeing these in the pack. And so beginning us off, we have Grand Moff Tarkin, as you can see. Just to give you a really clear look at the close-up on that face print technology, the awesome likeness of this badass piece, and what he comes with. And when I saw they were doing a figure of him, I was goosebumps laden. I was like, oh, hell yes. Number 2 in the prize pack is the Rebel Trooper. Here he is up close, just doing a quick comparison between the artistic representation of the actor who played the Rebel Trooper in question. As you can see, the likeness is pretty spot on, and it even comes with that little Death Star plans thing, so he could tentatively be either from A New Hope or from Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It was interesting, when I was a kid, I remember asking my dad, is that supposed to be like Luke's father or something like that? Because later in the movie you had Obi-Wan telling him that, his father used to be a good star pilot and everything like that. And, the passage of time and how much earlier in the history of the Star Wars universe that Anakin was a young man and a pilot and everything, it had sort of been glossed over to me as a child. And I just assumed it was sort of the, filmmaking machinations to show the precursor story, like a prologue, if you will. And then fast forward, and here was Luke learning about his father having been killed, and that's why they focused in on the one actor. I was, trying to make sense of it as a child. So my sort of mistaken assumption was, the first few times watching the original Star Wars, was maybe that was supposed to be Anakin. Maybe that was supposed to be Luke's father, and that was when he was killed by Vader and the stormtroopers coming aboard. Didn't make any sense later on when you think, oh, well, Princess Leia's there too. So, she's the same age when Luke finds out about it, so it couldn't have been the father after all. The third figure in this prize pack is Tobias Beckett, a character from Solo, a Star Wars story, as portrayed by Woody Harrelson. I mean, there is no doubt about it. That is Woody Harrelson as Tobias Beckett. The likeness on this figure with the face print technology is all kinds of awesome sauce. And when I first saw him, I actually wondered, and I posted this on the boards that JC oversees, saying, I wonder how many people are going to pick this figure up as a precursor for customization of the entire Cheers cast. Because, I mean, damn, son, that's Woody. He was a badass character in the film. I love, if you can kind of make it out a little bit in the package, how he's got the gunslinger belt and the coat back tucked behind where the weapon will be. The weapon's up here. But just a phenomenal performance on Harrelson's part, an interesting character, and a little bit predictable, I will say, but I loved Solo: A Star Wars Story, and I've already got the young Han Solo that Alden Ehrenreich played, in figure form, as well as the Lando from that movie, so that'll round out. I think I only need Kira, and then Chewbacca from Solo to have all of the so far released figures from Solo: Star Wars Story. And then speaking of the man himself, this is hands down the one that I wanted to win this prize pack for. I mean, Tarkin was definitely one of them. The Rebel Trooper is great to have, and Tobias Beckett was awesome. But the reason that I wanted to partake in the contest was because of this figure, and it is quite simply Han Solo himself in his Bespin outfit. Easily the pièce de résistance in this particular prize pack, Han friggin' Solo. And, oh hell yes. Just all kinds of oh hell yes. Now, I don't have Bespin Luke. I missed the train on that one, and eventually I'll have to go back and grab it, or find it. Hopefully, they're doing an archive series that's going to be beginning in early 2019 as of the time of this recording. And that is going to see re-releases of the X-Wing pilot Luke, Bosk, IG-88, and Boba Fett. And out of those, I need 3 of them. I never got the X-Wing pilot Luke, I never got Bosk or IG-88, and I want to round out the bounty hunters, in figure form, because I did finally get my hands on Boba Fett after so many years. But it's an absolutely fabulous figure. Having seen JC's, video review of it, I knew I had to have it. And when I found out he was going to be holding a contest on one of his message boards, the Jedi Insider board, I was like, okay, I gotta partake. I gotta take the gamble and see if I can get my hands on this sucker. And lo and behold, as luck would have it, I won, and it was just amazing. It was just an amazing, windfall for me. To get 4 figures, again, as I say, it would probably become veritably hard to afford, let alone find. And but again, in the order of how I showcase them, we've got Grand Moff Tarkin, Peter Cushing, again, a likeness that is spot on in figure form. I hope that, someday they'll release like a special, socks only version, slippers only version. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, for those of you who are familiar with Star Wars, trivia. The Rebel Trooper, again, with the guy who was in fact not Anakin Skywalker, not Luke's father. Even though as a kid, I thought it was movie trickery that we were seeing the prologue of his father getting killed first, and, yada, yada. An interesting, debacle for a kid. And then, of course, Tobias Beckett, once again, Woody Harrelson. Just an amazing likeness. And yeah, Bespin Han, the reason that I was so stoked to take part in this contest, all of this, but especially this figure. This is the one I wanted most above all. And there he is. The full coat, the full jacket, brown pants with a yellow stripe, I think it is, instead of the blue and the red, as in A New Hope. And I have to eventually look into why that is, what the differentiation is. I know it's something that hails back to his, home planet and everything like that, Corellia. I think the red stripe is supposed to be called a blood stripe or something. And it's some, hierarchical aspect, but I'll have to look into it and see what the differentiation is between the blue pants with the red and the brown with the yellow and whatever like that. But I'm just rambling now. I'm just so stoked and so excited that I got these. Thank you. Big shout of thanks to JC for sponsoring this contest. over on his message boards and everything like that, his forums. Again, in the description below, I will have a link to his channel. I suggest you go over and subscribe to that, as well as the various forums that he's been holding these contests on. I highly recommend you go get in on the action. You go check it out. And I just, as of the time of this recording, made a lengthy post about, comparing the SH Figuarts R2-D2 versus the Black Series R2-D2 in size and scale, and my own personal findings that it actually works better with the Black Series than the Black Series' own version R2-D2 and stuff like that, hoping to get a conversation going. So please head over to those links, check out the sites, check out the forums if you like action figures, collecting, pop culture, entertainment stuff, and that's where a lot of this stuff is going on, especially if it's Star Wars Black Series, Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse, DC Collectibles, anything goes. Just anything that you have a passion for if you're a collector. But so yeah, in any case, I hope you enjoyed this video, as I say, and that'll be pretty much it for me on this. So hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.